to us. Very interesting message to me. We got a pretty good sized song book. 410 songs in it, I guess, 410 pages. We usually say what about a dozen. That's not what we're acquainted with, about a dozen of them. We got a couple for baptismal service, maybe a couple for Christmas and Easter. It was just about a dozen. We got all these others, and I enjoy sometimes just to sit there and listen to people sing some of these others. And I may not know how to sing it, but they was always been there for us. But whenever we listen to them sung, they're so wonderful. These messages tonight that our brother has brought to us, may not think about them a whole lot, but to me they're very important. These things that God set forth, we're not going to take just a minute for the purpose. We'll take my time and his time and maybe Larry's time too, so it takes about 32 minutes, so we're going to get good plenty of time to preach. As these brothers brought us out some things, as Abraham had met this man, and he was coming back from the slaughter of the king. He was such a man that Abraham gave a tenth of all that he had to him. I don't think the man actually required it, but Abraham just wanted to do it. Just really wanted to do it. And sometimes we just really want to do things, don't we? And it makes us, not that we're required to do it, but we just really want to do it. So Abraham gave a tenth, and this man was king of Salem and the king of righteousness, the king of peace, the king of righteousness. I never did look at it like John said, maybe it's not even been Christ, but he didn't have no beginning of days or ending of days. He didn't know where he come from, nor where he went. Just appeared in the scripture there, that's just about it was. So, as each man offered them through the scripture something, Job offered sacrifices after his children got the message that his children had died or got killed. Job went and offered sacrifices in their behalf. So he was responsible to offer for his children, and he did. Men of old, as the tribes of Levi, they offered sacrifice daily, continually, over and over and over. The same sacrifices. They knew that they'd have to do it again because they just done it yesterday and they needed to do it all over again. It worked, but it didn't work. It worked for a while, then just like a lot of things that we come in contact with, worked for a while, then it needed to be repaired again. Then. So they had to go back and do it all over again. It wasn't an easy job. It wasn't a simple job. It, to me, was a very, very hard job. As preparing of the sacrifice and making sure that it was, just exactly like God required.
Yes, sir.
You had to go out and pick out the very best that you had and put it up 14 days, I believe, and make sure it was good. I want to make sure that what I have is good before I get that of you.
Yes, sir.
And so they did these things, and you might come in today and you would meet this priest and come in tomorrow and it would be a different one. He was already gone. Death had come and got him. It was always continuous changing on the reason of death. You didn't know which one that you might meet or for those things. So things got in kind of a bad shape. And even back through time, Israel offered their young children for sacrifices in the Bible. And men always have offered something, seemed like. But with all of this offering that men had done, all of the calves, the goats, the heifers, and all the things they done, it never did bring them back to be reconciled with God.
Right.
It came up short. It just didn't work. They still tried, but it always came up short. It just never work. Men chose, by the reason of sin, to be separated from God. And so all of these things never did reconcile them back with God no more. And they continued to do these things. But I listened to John brought the message, and in this 7th verse of this chapter, Christ is offered in sacrifice. He offered tears and prayers. Never offered a sacrifice. But now, the priest still existed, because the men that came that the Lord met, that was leprosy, he met the 10, he said, go on and offer to the priest. So the priest still existed, but Christ did not offer any sacrifice while he was here for anybody. But he prayed, and way before day of the morning, you read the scripture, and he'd go up on the mountain and he would pray. And as he went on down in this verse, and I said we're not going to take about many times that we got away, but he got on down in this verse and he began to tell us that he prayed to the one that was able to deliver him from death.
Yes, sir.
And though he didn't pray to become, he was.
Yes, sir.
But he prayed, and he prayed, and he grew closer in favor with God and with man.
Yeah.
Though he was a son, when he left, and so another, as I look at some words that was spoken, he said he could have called. So if he could have called, there may have been agreement somewhere. You know, I don't know, the Bible didn't say, but he could have called. So if he could have called, and then there may be an agreement. But he didn't call. But he went to offer once and for all a sacrifice that would reconcile people like you and I back to God.
Amen.
Though all of Moses' laws and Aaron's priesthood never did reconcile one person, they already said, Moses, you go. We don't want to go.
Yeah.
We want you to go first. And we'll listen to what you say.
Yeah.
But when Jesus comes, I'm to reconcile by his own blood.
Yeah, bless him, Lord. Yeah.
He by his own blood.
Bless him, Lord.
Not the blood of the bulls and the goats and the ashes of the heifer,
Yeah.
but take his own blood to reconcile people like you and I.
Amen.
To work your way to be able tonight to communicate back with God.
Amen.
So,
Yes, indeed.
you may not have never cried nothing down through life. I don't know. You may not have never killed any down through life. I don't know. But I said the other night that when you get way out on the battlefield along the darkness of the night, the least little racket, before they catch your ear, my friend. I mean, boy, if you were about half asleep, you were wide awake. But man, if you're down at the house of your friends, well, gosh, you can hear all kinds of racket and never wonder back in. But Christ was here among his friends, not being among his friends. They said, Lord, where did you get those get those scars at? They looked at the Lord, and one of these said, I got them at the house of a friend. Why did you get these scars? So I can deliver you. Aren't you glad tonight? Christ suffered so you and I tonight could go free. Yes. It wasn't the bulls and the goats that delivered us, but it's the blood of our Savior. And he did it once. Once. One time. I thought, as John spoke to us tonight, it must have been a bloody sight around the tabernacle, wasn't it? Outside, there is a bloody sight. The blood was shed, and it was a sight, and I'm sure it was a sweet-smelling place in the summertime, with you. And all of these things that were going on. That never did work. But when Christ comes, he said, Father, not my will, but thy will be done. He, some way or another, gave his blood on the cross of Calvary. And when he arose, he said, Mary, don't touch me. No. I haven't yet ascended. He done give his blood, but he hadn't ascended yet. I haven't ascended to my God and your God. But after a while, he said, touch me. Yes, I've enjoyed this good preaching tonight. I said, we got 410 songs somewhere in the book. We sang Amazing Grace and just a few of them. But whenever you hear somebody that really sings something that's very interesting to me. I told Brother Freeman Thacker years ago, I said, Freeman, I said, I don't care whether you're in the Spirit or out of the Spirit. I said, I can sit and listen to you all night preaching your Bible. And I enjoy it, brother, that, that's been done. And John said there was a time he may not have understood what he said tonight. But I enjoy this year tonight. And I enjoy the fact to know that all that man done, he came up short.